10 engines, one mission: to never let you down. These are the 10 most reliable adventure motorcycle engines sold in the USA. Machines so tough they don't fear the miles fear them. 1. Yamaha Tenere 700. Let's kick things off with one of the most bulletproof engines on two wheels, Yamaha's 689 cubic centimeters CP2 parallel twin. This thing has a cult following, and for good reason. It first showed up in the MT-07, then Yamaha threw it into the Tenere 700 and basically said, let's see how far it'll go. Turns out, it'll go pretty much anywhere, through deserts, over mountains, across entire continents, all while sipping fuel like a polite tourist at an expensive cafe. The secret is in its simplicity. No fancy variable valve timing, no fragile electronics trying to prove a point. Just a 270-degree crank, giving that lovely V-twin-like pulse, 72 horsepower, and torque that feels like it's always ready for one more hill. Riders have pushed this thing past 60,000 miles without a hiccup, and some even say it runs better dirty than clean. The best part is that if something ever does go wrong, parts are everywhere. You could probably rebuild a CP2 with a wrench and a prayer at a roadside diner in Utah. That's why the Tenere 700 isn't just reliable, it's legendary. It's the kind of engine that reminds you why adventure bikes are supposed to keep going, not keep breaking. 2. Honda Africa Twin. Next in the lineup is a powerhouse that's as calm as it is capable, Honda's 1,083 cubic centimeters Unicam parallel twin from the Africa Twin. This engine doesn't just have reliability, it has reputation. It's the sort of motor you could trust in a zombie apocalypse, smooth, balanced, and almost impossible to kill. Born from Honda's decades of Dakar rally dominance, this twin has evolved since the original 998 cubic centimeter version, growing stronger and smarter without losing its bulletproof soul. It makes about 100 horsepower and 77 pound-feet of torque, paired with Honda's DCT gearbox, a feature riders once mocked until they realized it shifts smoother than most humans. Owners have clocked over 100,000 miles with barely more than oil changes and valve checks. It's not a fire-breathing monster, but it's relentless, the type that shrugs off heat, sand, rain, and neglect. It might not win drag races, but when you're 300 miles from civilization and the GPS just died, this is the engine that will still get you home. The Africa Twin's twin doesn't brag, it just works, every single time. 3. Honda XL 750 Transalp. Up next, we've got a new kid with old-school reliability, Honda's 755 cubic centimeter parallel twin, the heart of the 2025 Transalp. It's the same engine that powers the Hornet 750, but here it's tuned for smooth torque and endurance rather than street brawls. And Honda nailed it. This is Honda engineering at its most refined, a 270-degree crank that mimics the feel of a V-twin, but with fewer parts to go wrong. It delivers 91 horsepower and 55 pound-feet of torque, pulling cleanly from idle to redline like it's been doing this for decades. It's liquid-cooled, fuel-injected, and designed with longevity in mind. There's no drama, no odd noises, no character that doubles as unreliability, just clean, consistent power. Riders have already been putting thousands of miles on it through every condition imaginable, from the Rockies to the Mojave, and the consensus is unanimous. It's built to last. Maintenance is simple: oil, filters, chain, and that's it. The Transalp's twin doesn't need pampering. It needs pavement, gravel, and the occasional gas stop. It proves Honda never forgot how to build a tough adventure engine. They just made it smoother, lighter, and a little smarter. Enjoying the ride? Hit subscribe, because the next engines make reliability look effortless. 4. Suzuki V-Strom 800DE. Rolling into the next spot, we've got Suzuki's brand new 776 cubic centimeter parallel twin, the engine that brought the V-Strom 800DE roaring back into the adventure spotlight. Suzuki may have been late to the parallel twin party, but when they finally showed up, they brought reliability as their plus one. This motor replaced the old V-twin, but don't panic, it's not a downgrade. Suzuki's engineers built this one from the ground up with a 270-degree crank, giving it that same thumpy, torquey feel everyone loved. It produces a healthy 83 horsepower and 57 pound-feet of torque, perfectly tuned for long hauls, back roads, and the occasional, whoops, that wasn't a road moment. It's not just reliable, it's forgiving. It runs cool in the desert, steady in the rain, and never feels overworked. Oil changes are simple, valve intervals are generous, and it's not known to drink oil like some European rivals. Riders say it feels unbreakable, which, coming from the ADV crowd, is the ultimate compliment. Suzuki built this engine with one goal: to make sure the rider quits before the bike does. Judging by how many are racking up big miles already, mission accomplished. 5. Suzuki V-Strom 1050. Now we move to an engine that's been around longer than some riders have been alive. Suzuki's 1,037 cubic centimeters 90-degree V-twin from the mighty V-Strom 1050. This thing has been evolving since the early 2000s, and it's practically a synonym for reliability. It's old school in the best way: fewer electronics, more substance, and a design that's proven itself over hundreds of thousands of miles. With around 106 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque, it's not the flashiest motor out there, but it's smooth, grunty, and endlessly dependable. You can lug it through traffic, cruise all day at 80 miles per hour, or crawl up a rocky pass. It never complains. The V layout keeps it balanced, the cooling system is robust, and the fueling is refined to perfection. Mechanics love it because it's easy to work on, and owners love it because they rarely have to. Some riders have hit 150,000 miles on these engines with just regular oil, filters, and good habits. It's the kind of motor that doesn't need hype. It just keeps rolling, mile after mile, reminding everyone that if it isn't broken, Suzuki isn't fixing it. 6. Kawasaki KLR 650. Let's talk about the most stubbornly reliable single-cylinder on the planet, the Kawasaki 652 cubic centimeters thumper from the KLR 650. This engine is the mechanical equivalent of a cockroach. It survives everything. Sandstorms? Fine. Freezing rain? Sure. Oil changes? Eventually, still running. It's a simple air and liquid-cooled SOHC single that's been around since the 1980s. Kawasaki modernized it in 2022 with fuel injection, but the soul of the motor didn't change. It makes about 40 horsepower and 39 pound-feet of torque. Not thrilling numbers, but that's not the point. This engine isn't here to impress, it's here to endure. Owners have crossed continents with it, dropped it down cliffs, left it idling for an hour in 110 degrees Fahrenheit heat, and the thing just shrugs. Sure, it vibrates like a washing machine full of bricks at highway speeds, but it'll get you there eventually. The KLR 650's engine proves that reliability doesn't need refinement. It needs resilience. It's slow, it's heavy, it's indestructible, and that's exactly why adventure riders love it. It always gets you out of the mess you probably got yourself into. 7. BMW R 1300 GS. Sliding into the list next is BMW's all-new 1,300 cubic centimeter Boxer twin, the heart of the 2025 R1300 GS. This isn't your granddad's Airhead Boxer. It's the latest evolution of a legacy that started before most adventure riders were born. It's lighter, faster, and, in classic BMW fashion, built to outlast geological eras. With 145 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of torque, it's the most powerful Boxer BMW has ever made. What's really impressive is that it's still as dependable as the old ones. Thanks to the shift-cam variable valve timing, you get low-end grunt for trail crawling and top-end punch for the highway, all without adding fragility. BMW tested this engine for hundreds of thousands of kilometers under brutal conditions before letting it anywhere near showrooms. Riders who've put early miles on the R1300 GS say it feels smoother, runs cooler, and uses less fuel than the old 1250. Maintenance isn't cheap, but the engine itself has legendary longevity, often crossing 200,000 miles with proper care. It's a Boxer in every sense, balanced, durable, and always ready for another round. The R1300 GS may have gone high-tech, but its reliability is still pure Bavarian muscle memory. 8. Triumph Tiger 900. Now cruising in, we've got Triumph's 888 cubic centimeters T-Plane Triple, the beating heart of the Tiger 900. It's one of those rare engines that manages to feel exotic and dependable at the same time. Think of it as the British accent of adventure bikes, charming, distinctive, and surprisingly polite when things get rough. Triumph took their signature 3-cylinder layout and gave it a 1-3-2 firing order, creating a hybrid personality, part twin, part triple. The result is strong, usable torque down low for trails, with that glorious triple howl up top for highways. It puts out about 106 horsepower and 64 pound-feet of torque, and it's been proven across years of hard use in the 900 Rally Pro and GT models. Despite its fancy electronics and premium badge, the T-Plane Triple is rock solid. Triumph's manufacturing in Thailand and testing in Hinckley have made this engine impressively refined, with no leaks, no quirks, and no surprise tantrums. It's the kind of motor that can tour Alaska one week and commute to Starbucks the next without missing a beat. Smooth, torquey, reliable, and it sounds like a mini symphony every time you twist the throttle. 9. Aprilia Touareg 660. Now for Italy's most surprising success story, Aprilia's 659 cubic centimeters parallel twin from the Touareg 660. When people think of reliable adventure bikes, Aprilia usually isn't the first brand that comes to mind. But this engine has changed that narrative in a big way. Derived from the RS 660 sport bike's motor, it's been detuned for the Touareg to deliver about 80 horsepower and 52 pound-feet of torque. Not too wild, not too tame, just right for long hauls and off-road punishment. Aprilia stripped away the high-strung race tuning and replaced it with bulletproof practicality, better cooling, stronger internals, and simplified electronics. Riders have been pounding these bikes across the US and Europe since launch, logging tens of thousands of trouble-free miles. It's light, fuel-efficient, and runs smooth even in triple-digit heat. Maintenance intervals are generous, and reliability reports have been shockingly positive, especially for an Italian brand once known for character. The Touareg's engine proves that Aprilia can make a tough, dependable adventure motor without losing its flair. It's rugged, spirited, and reliable, like a Ducati that actually likes showing up to work on time. 10. Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250. Finally, closing out our lineup is the American wildcard, Harley-Davidson's 1252 cubic centimeters Revolution Max 1250 V-twin from the Pan America 1250. When Harley announced an adventure bike, the internet laughed. When they built it, the laughter stopped. This engine turned out to be one of the most impressive and reliable Harley power plants ever made. We're talking 150 horsepower, 94 pound-feet of torque, liquid cooling, variable valve timing, and a rev ceiling that would make a Sportster blush. It's a modern DOHC masterpiece, designed from scratch to compete with the BMW GS and Africa Twin. Early skeptics expected heat issues or oil leaks, but the Revolution Max has proven almost boringly solid. Thousands of owners have thrashed these bikes across deserts, rain, and gravel without major complaints. It barely drinks oil, runs cool thanks to a smart liquid cooling system, and even sounds refined while doing it. Harley finally ditched push rods and went all in on precision, and it worked. It's powerful, smooth, and durable, proving Milwaukee can build more than chrome and nostalgia. The Pan America's engine is Harley's redemption arc, a reminder that even legends can evolve and still keep that rebellious heartbeat alive. So that's 10 engines that define dependability. No hype, no drama, just pure endurance. At the end of the day, reliability isn't about horsepower or hype. It's about trust. Every engine here has earned that trust, mile after mile, from the Rockies to the Rio Grande. And here's the quiet truth. The most reliable adventure engines, you almost never hear about them because they never break.